The Cowboys win the Super Bowl in a span of 43 days after the time that Jimmy Johnson, born in 43, was inducted into the Ring of Honor. Now, the Bush family are big. They're from the state of Texas. They're big fans of the Dallas Cowboys. George Bush used to be owner of the Texas Rangers, who already won the World Series this year. So he sold the Rangers in 1998, and they went on the World Series basically 25 years later in 2023. Now, the Cowboys are coming off their 25th divisional title. George Bush is the 43rd president of the U.S. He's the only living Bush family member after the death of his father, George H.W. Bush. Bush is born in the year 46. Mike McCarthy wins his 46th playoff game over at Levi Stadium as the Cowboys are about to win their first Super Bowl since Super Bowl 30. That 46th win for Mike McCarthy at Levi Stadium. George Bush, the 43rd president, the Cowboys win the Super Bowl 43 days after December the 30th. George Bush is from the Yale. He went to school at Yale. Yale's Comanche 43. He was part of that fraternal organization known as Skull and Bones. Many prior U.S. presidents were part of Skull and Bones. He went to school at Yale. 43-day run to the Super Bowl. It's all going to be a tribute to George Bush right after the former Rangers owner saw the Texas Rangers win the World Series. So that's going to be the key. The Rangers defeated the Diamondbacks, the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Rangers won the World Series at Arizona. In the Dallas Cowboys' last championship occurred at Arizona at the stadium of the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals just gave the Cowboys NFC East. So we start to see how significant the Diamondbacks ties into the Cowboys' first championship since '96 to end up going 9-6 in the NFC Championship game. Diamondbacks, it's Comanche of 96 and 42. The Super Bowl's on the 42nd day. We can see the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl on the 42nd day. Now, George Bush's grandfather, the father of George H.W. Bush, is Prescott Bush. It is, of course, Dak Prescott that is going to win the Super Bowl as a tribute to the prestigious Bush family in the state of Texas. He represented Connecticut in the Senate all the way up to the year 63. Now, the Dallas Texans, a.k.a. the Kansas City Chiefs, moved to Kansas City in the year 63. The Cowboys are going to improve to 6-3 in the Super Bowl when they defeat the Kansas City Chiefs with owner Jerry Jones and Rayne Dakota Prescott in charge of the Dallas Cowboys. So this is all a tribute to the original Bush. Prescott Bush. It all started, he's another guy who went to Yale College right there. Maybe served in Skull and Bones, maybe not. I'm not, okay, he was part of the Skull and Bones Society as well. So definitely a ritual going on. These guys know Jerry Jones. These guys are Freemasons. Remember, Freemasons, Comanche 96, Cowboys improved to 9-6 in the NFC Championship. That's the underlying ritual going on. And then you see George H.W. He was pictured with the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones back in the day. So 46th governor, the 46th win for Mike McCarthy to make it to the Super Bowl, the 43rd president. It's a 43-day Super Bowl run. When we look at the presidency of George W. Bush, 9/11 was an inside job, and they went to war with Al-Qaeda, but they invaded Iraq, even though Al-Qaeda was based in Saudi Arabia. It is Al-Qaeda, that's 23, Las Vegas 23. Now, Al-Qaeda is translated to as the base. The base is 24. Lions, the first game of Jimmy Johnson being inducted into the Ring of Honor. 24 divisional titles entering the year. Dak enters the playoffs with a 2-4 record. The Cowboys go 6-0 during the playoff run. George Bush staged a war against Islamic terrorists. Terrorists is 53. The Cowboys are 5-3 in the Super Bowl. George Bush invaded Iraq. Iraq is 27. The Cowboys go 27 years without winning the title. Now, as far as George Bush goes, George is going to march at 39. The Cowboys can win their 39th playoff game to make it to the Super Bowl, looking to win their first Super Bowl since over at Arizona when they defeat the fraudulent quarterback from Arizona, Brock Purdy. This is what it comes down to. Bush is going to march at 14. Mike McCarthy improves to 1-4 against the 49ers when he wins his 46th playoff game at Levi Stadium as a tribute to the 46th governor of Texas, George W. Bush. It's all a tribute to Bush after his Rangers won the World Series. The amount of time from the Rangers World Series victory to the time that Jimmy Johnson was inducted into the Ring of Honor is 59 days. The Cowboys' last championship was over at Tempe, Arizona. Tempe is Gamache 59. The Cowboys win their next championship over at Las Vegas. 5 runs on 9 hits to win that final game in the World Series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So what about the amount of time for the World Series victory to, you guessed it, to the time that the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl? 102 days. 102. Cowboys is 102. Cowboys win 102 days after the Rangers did. Texas Rangers is 52. Mike McCarthy is going to improve to 5-2 in the playoffs with as Cowboys coach when he wins the Super Bowl. This is what it comes down to. 5-2 in the playoffs for Mike McCarthy. Prescott Bush, Dak Prescott. He was senator in 1952 at Connecticut. Connecticut is going to march in 46. It's the 46th win for Mike McCarthy at Levi Stadium. Not only ties into Bush being the 46th governor of Texas, but it also ties into where Prescott Bush began his political career as a senator at Connecticut. He was a Wall Street investment banker before he lent money to the Nazis, Prescott Bush. He lent money to the Nazis. He was part of the group that financed Hitler, so definitely did happen. He was in office all the way till 1963, so that would be, 61 years later, and that's a 6 week in a day run to the Super Bowl, just 6 weeks in a day after December 30. You get February the 11th. Died at New York City, where the season began. Just outside of New York, George Bush did 9/11, and the Cowboys season began at 9/11. It's going to tie into George Bush being from the state of Texas, a Dallas Cowboys fan. Well, how does 9/11 connect to the Cowboys? Well, Dan Quinn was born at New Jersey. He won his Super Bowl there at New Jersey, but it also connects to the 9/11 terror attacks in the first place because it's all part of the bigger ritual for the Cowboys to win as a tribute to all these influential people who served in the state of Texas. So let's go to the father of George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush. He was also the 43rd vice president of the United States, so this 43-day run to the Super Bowl, it's going to be a tribute to him too. But what's the amount of time from his death to the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl victory? Because he did die in year 18, and Vegas itself is gematria of 18. So what's the time duration from And he died on 25-day numerology because 2018 is 11, 11 is 11, and 30 is 3. That's 25. So the Cowboys' divisional record, their 25th divisional title, I should say, is going to be a tribute to the father of George Bush. And of course, 63 months after his death, the Cowboys improve to 6-3 in the Super Bowl. So 5 years and 2 months, McCarthy 5-2 in the playoffs. And again, what was he with 52? Texas Rangers 52. The last NFC winner was the Los Angeles Rams. Bush is 50. The Cowboys go 5-0, win the playoffs after they win at San Francisco. San Francisco is Gematria 50. George Bush, 53. The terrorist is Gematria of 53 as well. What about George Walker Bush? George Walker Bush is Gematria 58. The Dallas Cowboys is Gematria of 58. Dallas Cowboys is 43. 43-day run in the Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboys, the same Gematria as Texas Rangers. Bruce Bochy was coach of the, San Francisco Giants. And then the Cowboys beat the San Francisco 49ers. So there's an angle there with that, too. But you connect the 43rd vice president, the 43rd. Now, what about, George H.W. Bush? What's the connection with him being the 41st president? 41 is the 13th prime, and Dallas Cowboys win 13 games since they lost to Brock Purdy. Now, George H.W. right there, he died at 94 years of age. Dak Prescott's going to win the Super Bowl, 94 months after he was drafted. His mom was born on September the 4th. He's going to win the Super Bowl in tribute to his mother. You can see at the end of the video. But Dak's mother's birthday, September the 4th, 9-4. And Dak, 94 months after he was drafted. You can check for yourself. 94 months after he was drafted, he wins. So, the son of Prescott Bush, this is how his death at 94 is going to connect to Dak Prescott. It connects to the amount of time that he was drafted to the time that he does win the Super Bowl. And the OG Bush, Prescott is 35. Prescott is 35, the 35th quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Mark Davis is seeing Prescott becoming the 35th quarterback to win the Super Bowl right after Tom Brady's retirement. So it's all part of a greater ritual. Now what's funny too is George Bush, he was elected governor in the year 94. Now 94 is going to tie into Dak Prescott. So let's go to the draft in the year 16. The time that Dak Prescott was drafted to the Super Bowl. So what we end up getting is the 94th month. So not only does George H.W. die at 94 years of age, but then George Bush became owner in the year 94 of the Texas Rangers. And then, of course, that would be 30 years later, the Cowboys win their first Super Bowl since Super Bowl 30. So there's that again. About the Bush dynasty, or the Bush family. Bush family is Gematria of 116, 44. Prescott's 44 is a Gematria of 116, I should say. Or just the Bushes. The Bushes is Gematria Prescott becoming the 35th quarterback to win the Super Bowl. You see that? it's not just Dak Prescott or Prescott Bush, but the Bush is gematria of 35. That's something to keep an eye out. Again, the Bush family is gematria of 149 and 59. The Cowboys win the Super Bowl. They're 59 days after the death of Peggy Prescott, and she fits the September 4 connection to everything that I've said about the Bushes and the time that Dak was drafted. The Bush family is gematria of 149. They're the most notable Skull and Bones members in society. Skull and Bones is gematria of 149. It's a fraternal society, originated from Yale. The Bush family are going to absolutely, it's all going to be a tribute to the deaths of George H.W. I mean, Prescott Bush died a while back, but it certainly is going to be a tribute to the death of George H.W. Bush. There are 40 prior presidents, and then the Cowboys could win their 40th playoff game as a franchise to win their next championship. And well, Bush did preside over a recession, George H.W. It was called the Great Recession. A Great Recession is 83. What I can say about 83, though, is, I did say this in the original video, too, from the time that Dak was drafted to the Super Bowl. I said that 6 years ago. So, that's going to definitely be very significant. I don't think there's anything else I need to mention with the Bushes, though, but they're honoring one of their own. It's a 43-day Super Bowl run. These guys are friends with Jerry Jones. They honor Jimmy Johnson, who was born in 43 days before the Super Bowl. And then George W. Bush, he's going to see the Cowboys win the Super Bowl one last time during his life. He's a 15-6 light path. Mike McCarthy's 15th playoff win as coach. Well, he did beat Al Gore. Al Gore, Super Bowl 58. Gore, gematria of Iraq. I did a video on the 2000 election, which you can probably see at the end of the video if you like to. But so is the death of his father going to tie into kind of what we said with Michigan winning over at Houston, Texas. And then now here's the thing about George H.W.'s death too, is that Houston, Texas is gematria of 46, and of course Bush is the 46th governor of Texas. The Cowboys' 46th win in the playoffs with Mike McCarthy as coach to make it to the Super Bowl is what it comes down to at the end of the day. Coach Mike McCarthy, 58. Dak Prescott enters the Super Bowl with 78 wins. That's what Mike McCarthy's 57 prior Super Bowls. George can see his team win the Super Bowl again. But let's go to Skull and Bones quickly. Just how many years society has existed. Founded 1832, so headquartered at 64 High Street. Prescott, Dak Prescott, will be 6-4 in the playoffs to win the Super Bowl. So, and the Cowboys beat the 49ers during their 64-year anniversary as well. January 28 of 1960. So this fits the ritual with Dak Prescott winning in tribute to the long-standing elite society of the state of Texas. That society, that family being the Bush dynasty, a Bush political dynasty. So if they're founded in 1832, you got to take a look at that too. 1832, 2024, then that'd be the 192 year anniversary. The Bush dynasty's 191. The 191 years was the beginning of the season. And then 192 just gives us the next NFC winner since Inglewood, California. Inglewood, California, 102 days after the Texas Rangers won the World Series again. This what kind of combines all elements together. 9/11, 11 straight road wins. The ninth inning, they get the 11th runs. Texas Rangers win. These kind of rituals we talked about already.